All right, we are back. I have noticed something, and that is that I am really, really
Oh,
poor.
wow.
So that's a problem because I need to start building some stations, and we're going to need some credits. And the best way I know to make credits is through piracy. So today, we're doing something completely different. I'm going to take this time to make some credits, but I'm also going to share how I do piracy at the most basic level. This will be targeting new players or even veteran players who have never tried piracy. If you bought this game last week and you got a basic feel for how some things work, then this guide is for you. If you played X4 and you're a veteran, but you never really did piracy, this is also for you. I'm going to discuss piracy in all levels, from stealing small ships, medium ships, boarding larger ships, and I might even talk about rep management. And I've watched a lot of X4 playthroughs, but I don't see too many players that are pirating ships. So I see it every now and again, but it's very rare. With us, we do it all the time. I have no idea how other people do this, really. So I can't speak for them. This is just going to be how I do things. If you are a player out there who's also a pirate enthusiast and you got some tips that I didn't talk about, please, for the love of sweet Jesus, put them in the comment section. I learn new stuff all the time. Or if you see me doing something that you know a better way of doing it, please let me know. I would love to know. So, first off, the first thing we're going to discuss before we steal any ships is the most important thing, and that's going to be how we control the ship itself. Okay, let's talk about controls. We'll hit escape, go to settings, go to controls, and general controls. So here we are. Let's go over the big things. There's a lot of things in here we could change. I changed so many of my hotkeys. So forgive me if these are already default. I really don't know. But strafe up, down, left, right, WSAD. That's perfect. That's what we want. For accelerate and decelerate, we don't want those on our keyboard hand. We want those on our mouse hand, right? And I'll get into that in a second. And rolling left and right, that's fine on the keyboard hand. And then for flight assist, the default is 2 buttons. I forget what it is. I think it's control space bar. It might be shift space bar. That's no good. We just want 1 key. And I pick space bar. You could pick any key as long as it doesn't conflict with what we have here already with the strafing, accelerate, decelerate, and rolling, right? We want to be able to do all of that while also toggling flight assist on and off. And we also want to be able to do all the strafing, accelerate, decelerate, and toggling flight assist on and off, and rolling while being able to fire our main weapon, which I have hotkeyed as middle mouse button. And if you follow this setup, you'll be able to have full 6 degrees of freedom while also being able to fire your weapon, and that's super important. But let's talk about these two first. Toggle mouse steering and flight assist, and then I'll talk about why this strafing setup works so well. So first off, we'll go into toggle mouse steering. So if you look right here, I don't know what this is. It looks like a paw to me right there. I don't know what it is, but it's that little icon. Right now, it's off. Toggle mouse steering. And basically what that means is if I want to steer in a direction, I have to left click like some kind of jabroni and steer in that direction. That's no good. That's good if I need a target. Like if I need to click stuff, like right here, I need to click a turret.
Turret.
That's great. But in fast combat, I want to turn that on. This is mouse steering is now on. What that means is wherever I point, that is now where I'm going to look, right? So in combat, you always want to have toggle mouse steering on. That way, you can make decisions on the fly. You can turn on the fly at the drop of a hat. If you need to look somewhere else, you can do that. Super important. Also, this is flight assist. Right now, it's on. And what that means is when I fly around, it's like airplanes in space. That's what's going on. Wherever I point, because I have toggle mouse assist on, that's where I'm going to go. And you see this little, you see that little circle right here? It might be easier to see. Like if I turn flight assist off, and now I go forward, but I turn my mouse away, that's the direction I'm going, right? I'm maintaining that direction with flight assist off, but I can turn around and shoot stuff behind me. And I can press decelerate and strafe, right? There's something behind me, I can just do that. And I can shoot anything behind me while I'm going in a different direction. And as I'm doing what's called a box strafe right here, right, I can dodge incoming fire. Not only that, if I'm fighting a K, I still have flight assist off. You can kind of see that's the direction I'm going. When I want to go into a target, I'll kind of slice in like this at an angle, especially a big target. And then, because I have full 6 degrees of freedom, I can use my strafing and acceleration and my mouse steering to really fly around an object. And I can always, always, always look at it, right? This is so beneficial for targeting turrets. Like if I need to shoot a bunch of turrets off of a K, I could target the turret, start firing, always looking at it and always strafing and rolling like this. And I can kind of even tap boost if I need to get to the other side really quickly. And this right here would dodge so much. You'll dodge pretty much every graviton turret. It works so incredibly well. In fact, you'll dodge graviton turrets and even swarms of xenon trying to hit you at the same time. They're going to have such a hard time hitting you, especially if you're in a really, really small ship. So that's the benefits of flying this way. And if you're a HOSAS player out there, you're using dual sticks. HOSAS just means hands-on stick and stick. You're already flying this way. I know, I used to be a HOSAS player. So I came up with this because I wanted to go to keyboard because of the nature of X4. It is so keyboard mouse heavy, so much clicking and typing that I just went to keyboard and mouse. And this is kind of what I came up with so I can maintain the 6 degrees of movement. At all times, I can move in every direction and I can fire. I can turn flight assist on, I can boost, turn it back off, boost, turn it back on, off, just flick it on and off as I fly around these targets. And not only does this work on large ships, it will work on smaller ships that are slower than you, right? It will work on medium ships. You can exploit blind spots on medium ships and just really go to town on them. And I'm gonna try to give examples on all of this, on all the different kinds of ships and how this works. But basically, that control setup is really what we're trying to aim for. It's gonna give us so much freedom. I know it's kind of goofy, it's kind of weird, but it works really, really well. And not only does it work in X4, it works in all space games that have a Newtonian-based flight model, right? Maybe it's not exactly Newtonian physics, but you have flight assist off and on. You can turn off like in, what is that, Elite Dangerous? You could totally do this in Elite Dangerous, and a lot of people do. They have a similar setup to this. So it's just a great way to control your ship. It gives you ultimate control, and that's so important for dogfighting and for pirating ships. In fact, you'll find that you can dogfight ships while a K and an I shows up, and it's no big deal. You'll know how to deal with that. And as you get experience, you'll figure it out for yourself. But for now, let's talk about the best ships to use for this style of combat. Okay, this is my ship. I call it the Black Flag. It really is just an ASP raider. And this is my favorite ship in the game for dogfighting. And let's forget about piracy just for a second and talk about what is the best player ship, I think, for me, especially with this setup. And that's going to be something that's super fast in combat. 526, that's not bad. You can get this up faster with exceptional mods. I just don't have access to them yet. You can get this close to 1,000, depending on the ship you want. Another factor is your boost speed and acceleration. These are also important. Just as important as speed, because we'll be using this a lot to get out of really sticky situations. Travel speed is not important at all for combat. A lot of people like travel speed. I think they're just flying around from mission to mission. That's why. For actual combat, this is not that important. But, you know, it is kind of a pain in the butt to have something with really, really low travel speed. So I get it. Strafe speed, strafe acceleration, these two are just as important as speed, right? It's up there with speed and boost. You want high strafing and high strafing acceleration because we're strafing all the time. Even when I'm flying straight, it looks like I'm flying straight, I'm actually strafing. That's why I have that NOAA board up in the bottom left-hand corner, so you can see that. It's hard to visualize that, but if you look at my previous videos, you look at my vector indicator, how it's always moving around, that's because I'm always strafing. Even when it seems like I'm not, if I'm going head on to something, especially if I'm going head on to something, I'm strafing in multiple directions. So we're always strafing, and because of that, this is also super important. And these right here, I think they're really, really important too. I have them kind of high. Like, to me, 90 is pretty high for these, but being able to turn fast and rolling fast, it really does complement the strafing. And because of that, a ship like the Asp Raider, which also has a very, very tiny cross section, right? I started this playthrough out with a Kukri, and that also has a pretty good strafe, but it's a bigger ship. It, like, the cockpit is over here and it extends out to over here, and that's a big cross section, so you'll get hit a little bit more. So that's something to keep in mind. A Morea, however, also has really good strafing, and it has a pretty small cross section, so that's also a pretty good player ship. So this is all what I consider to be a good fighter. But for a good pirate ship, you want something with a thinner hull. 1800 hull is super thin. One graviton turret can probably do me in. A Xenon B, for sure, direct hit will do me in. Absolutely. Because the hull is so thin. So if you want a fighter that you don't really care about piracy, getting a little bit more hull is fine. In fact, I've even pirated ships in like the Azure, which has like 3300 hull. You know, you could still do it, but there's something about having a small hull. There's an actual equation you can look up that someone discovered that in this game, the smaller the thinner your hull is, the better chance of the ship you're shooting is going to bail. That's a real thing. So having a thin hull is super important. Shields, not that important. We're not going to be getting hit a lot because mobility is king. I promise you. When we get into this in a second, you're going to see the power of mobility. Just being able to go against swarms of Xenon, especially if you bring a few laser towers and sprinkle them in, that will distract huge swarms, and that way you can isolate Xenon one by one. Even you could take on even 5 at a time and you'll be okay. What else is important in here? I want to say that's the big ones. Let me double check this. You know, boost capacity, this stuff might be important too, but really the stuff I talked about, that's the really, really big ones. And as far as engines go, you can't beat split engines. The driftier the ship, the better. Because when we go and turn flight assist off, we're kind of drifty. That's what's going on. We're drifting around. And having a ship that has really high drift that you could now add strafing into and rolling into that drift really will confuse the AI a lot. Here I went with all-around MK3s. The combat ones will have higher roll, and the all-around will have higher strafe. So either one, you'll probably be okay. I chose to go with strafe. If you want the combat ones, you'll probably be okay. Terran shields, why not? I'm playing a Terran playthrough right now, so that kind of makes sense. Guys, for beam emitters are so good, man. They're so good for piracy. When I'm in the Asp Raider and I'm just fighting things, I'll just shoot things with a beam emitter just to kill them, right? And a lot of times they'll just bail. There's something about beam emitters in an Asp Raider, and I don't know what it is, but I challenge you guys to put these things on your ship, because when you do, you'll see that ships will bail left and right just out of nowhere. And on top of that, these are also hit scan. So when you turn flight assist off, and I talked about the strafing and the rolling, how that confuses the AI turrets and also their fixed guns. It also messes with your fixed guns and your turrets too. It will confuse yours as well. But because these are hit scan weapons, it doesn't confuse them as much. So it's a great weapon choice for this kind of flying style. But I also found that pulse weapons work great too, you know. So in fact, all the weapons work pretty good, but these really, really excel. And if you get a chance to put slashers on these with a reload of like 90%, these will melt anything, almost anything. Medium ships are kind of a pain in the butt no matter what weapon you have, like medium Xenon ships, not so much faction ships, because we're stealing them, we're not trying to destroy those. But the Xenon ones are kind of a pain to kill with these, but anything else, you're good to go. And what else do I have here? I want to say that's about it. That's what you're going for. So you'll probably end up with a split ship by going by these specs. There are other ships from other factions. Like personally, so far I'm not too impressed with the Terran fighters. But I will tell you this, once you unlock research, which I'm still working on, you can make even those fighters excel at whatever stats you want, especially once you get exceptional mods. But out the box, if you're looking for a good pirate ship, I recommend the Asp Raider. It's not the only one. There's a lot of people will have their own recommendations, and if you have one, please let me know. I would love to see your loadout and how you do that. So I'm always learning about stuff like that. But this is what I like to use a lot. So we're going to start off by using this ship with this setup, and we're going to start off stealing small ships, and we're going to see how that goes. All right, real quick, I want to show you off my stripper ship. I use this ship to strip modules from bigger ships, and ideally it has all the same things I'm looking for as in the Asp Raider we looked at earlier. This is the litigious rodent. You could actually steal these too, but I just got this one from the Terran mission line, and really it's faster, which is kind of cool. And I have the MK3s on it. I don't want it to be too fast. Personally, for a stripper ship, I want it to be 800 to 900. I think that's pretty good. The boost speed is really high. The travel speed's actually higher, but that's not that important here. And the strafe speed is just next level. It's out of this world. And that's really, really important. Especially if we're going to be dodging graviton turrets and stuff like that. And the rolling is really high. That's also important. These things, these aren't low, but they're not as high as they are on the Asp Raider. And that's okay because we're just fighting bigger ships. The most important thing here are these weapons. These are called burst rays. And if you're new to the game, you probably haven't gotten to these yet, but these, I'm not going to bring that up. All these do is they're crap in combat against small, medium ships, but when you're fighting large ships and capital ships, you can destroy modules in seconds with these. It's just insane. And I can fit 4 of them on a Morea. So that's just fantastic. And I don't even have slashers on them yet, but once you put slashers on these, they will just melt. Just absolutely melt modules. They'll melt shields, turrets, engines, you name it. And this is where you can buy them. If you come down here to Trinity Sanctum 3, you will meet a faction called the, what is this? I think it's the Pyramid of the God Realm or something like that. Whatever the case is, it's right here, right? So there is, you can kind of see these are Talati zones. That's where my headquarters is. You can take the super highway even, and it will just take you right through it. You can kind of see that right off here to the side. If I go in here and I just buy a ship, right? I'm going to go buy it. And you can only put these on small ships. I'm going to put them on this thing right here. And these are them. When you first come here, these will be all red. You can't actually equip them yet. You need to get 10 rep with these guys to unlock a military license. And once you do, you can put these on your ship. These are fantastic. I highly recommend them. You can't go wrong with them. And we really need a stripper ship anyways. It's game changing. So I just want to show that to you guys so you know how to build one. All right, let's go to the next section. Okay, here we are. We're behind this Asp Raider. These things are great. They're everywhere around here in Heretic's End. It's such a great place to steal ships because there's no police force here. You can see it's grayed out. That means that no one owns this yet. It's pretty much 0-0 space. So there's no police authority. But this ship right here, this ass raider, is so hard to steal, guys. It's hard to get these to bail, especially it's just split ships in general. They're kind of tricky. They're stubborn. They don't want to bail out of their ships. But if you want to get an asp raider, this is how you do it. You just steal it. You can buy them too. They're pretty inexpensive. What's weird about this one is it belongs to a different faction. You see, it doesn't belong to a split faction. That's because it's in disguise. So we're going to steal this thing, and it's going to be a hard fight. It may not be the best example because most small ships won't be this hard. But we're going to see what happens. We're going to try it. So make sure my weapons are set up. All right, let's go.
Raider.
I'm going to shoot it.
We cannot tolerate your actions. Stop your attack immediately.
Split not hurt.
And it should try to boost away here. I think this guy has thermal disintegrators on him.
Bad idea, very bad.
Turn flight assist on and off. I'm going to flick it on and off here. I just don't want him facing me. I always want to be behind this guy at all times.
Space.
When he boosts, I boost. Okay. And then we're going to kind of boost and do a spiral strafe. Just rolling and strafing. See how that works? See how easy it is? How we roll and strafe like that?
Split not turned down.
We still
Over
will
to
get
right.
peppered though. We'll still get hit by those a little bit. And that kind of sucks because those are just thermal disintegrators. They will go straight to your hull. They'll do a little bit of shield damage, they'll do hull damage, and that's not good. So we'll get hit a little bit, but that's okay. We can get hit a little bit. We're going to keep his shields down at all times. And I'm using travel drive to save on boosting. I just want to stay away from his front.
Prepare to die.
His front is so deadly.
Incoming missile.
We're going to kind of ignore that missile, but not really. See that missile right there?
Split not turned down. Bad idea, very bad.
And I have to kind of dodge that missile as I'm fighting this thing.
Docking not possible.
We'll get him. And that roll strafing works really good fighting small, fast targets. Just flicking flight assist on and off as I turn.
It's space.
And the missile gave up, which is good. I hate dealing with missiles so much.
Split not turned down. Offer to fight.
We're going to kind of boost out of that. We don't want any of that nonsense. And that spiral strafing, man, it's just so powerful. You kind of see me really using a lot of that. But you can really use that forever. You can kind of see how I'm using boost at the same time here. Like I said, these guys, they take a long time to get the bail, but they're good for practicing all these techniques. And see how nimble this guy is? We're just as nimble as he is. We're probably more nimble than he is.
You out of your league here.
Ooh, got me a little bit there. You see how it does hull damage? Those are great weapons.
That not clever move. Split make you regret it.
Right. I have flight assist on a lot for this because if we're chasing down a target, flight assist on is the best. And I'll turn it off when I'm turning sometimes to get really, really sharp turns. But this guy, man, I'm telling you, these split guys, they'll hold on to the very end.
I'm not talking to you.
Sometimes I communicate with the C button because you can sometimes convince them to bail. That's what that is.
Split, now show you how to fly.
And you just see how nimble this guy is, man. There he is.
Split eject. Spare life.
And that's it. That's the end of this guy right here. And just like that, that's how you can get an aspirator. These guys are really tricky to get to bail. So if you've never done this before, make sure to do a save, like a quick save, before you actually attempt this. Because if things go sideways, then man, you can just quick load. Okay, so as you can see here, we have 4 kukris and a Xian. We're going to try to pirate all these at once and see what happens and see how we can do this without getting murdered. More importantly, I really need the cash. So if I could pull this off, that would be great. So let's see what happens. First thing I'm going to do is shoot it out of warp.
Stop firing.
Yep, now I got its attention. I got flight assist off. Now I'm going to start kiting these things. I'm going to try to separate the fighters from the Xian.
Kukri.
The fighters are pretty slow. But we can use our strafing, and flight assist is off.
That was a really silly thing to do.
And I'm just going to pull this guy away, slowly but surely. Okay, he's down to 75%. Oh man, I guess his friends are going to run away. So now we just have to deal with these two. Well, that's great. So we'll get 2 fighters. 2 ships. That's not bad.
Really shouldn't have done that.
I think I'm going to do a box strafe. That's where I go left, up, right.
Suck back here.
There. Oh man, something else. Oh man, 2 more. They came back. Okay. Let's take a look at see where they're at. Here we go.
Kukri.
Is that really the best you can manage?
And we're flying backwards with flight assist off, and I'm doing a box strafe. That's all I'm doing.
Kukri.
And once I get these guys down, I'll take them down one at a time to like 80%.
It's not smart.
Boost around this side. All right. More contrast over here.
Go away.
These fights will usually take a little bit longer, obviously, because there's more of them. Got him down. All right.
Kukri.
Let's get this guy down a little bit more. Get his shields down at least. And this box strafing, man, it's...
You're really going to get it this bad.
That's one. Just kind of notice how I'm strafing here. You can kind of visualize a box. Once they get close, that box strafing, it doesn't work as good as roll strafing. That's just the reality of that. And that's 2.
Failing.
All right. Let's go. We're really close. We want to back off now. Okay. Here we go. We got some distance. So look, we got 2 ships. That's not bad. Let's work on this guy a little bit more. We're saving the big one for last. You see, he has the most health.
Really silly thing to do.
See, this box strafing technique works good about right here. But once they start getting close, and I do have to get close to hit this one.
That barely tipped. Get out of here.
I'm kind of tapping my laser because I don't want to kill these guys. Because right now we're getting no rep damage at all. So we're going to go back and forth, get their shields to recharge. And I'm just going backwards with flight assist off and doing a box strafe. It's okay to get hit a little bit. It's not the end of the world.
Hookery.
We'll kind of boost the other side here. He's always turning flight assist on and off.
Get spaced.
I don't know what that Xi'an is. I think it's behind me. I don't like that.
That was a really silly thing to do. This isn't worth it.
Okay.
Hookery.
Closer at max distance I can keep them, the better. And Terran engines, man, I hate to say it, because I love Terrans. But did I launch a laser tower? I don't want to. Yeah, that was an accident. We're gonna deactivate that. Well, we'll just destruct it. I don't want to kill these guys, and laser towers will kill them.
I just want to get home in one
Okay.
piece.
And look, that guy's down.
Gian.
And this poor son of a bitch is all alone.
You're not taking me out like that.
And he also has a blind spot. He has turret. He doesn't have any turrets on the bottom. And we're gonna use our strafing, and we have full 6 degrees of freedom. And we're gonna really exploit the hell out of that. You stay right underneath him. We might get peppered a little bit, but that's okay. But do you see how much health this guy has? It's just so much. It just makes sense to get rid of the little guys first. But we'll get them. Just a matter of time.
You're going to regret that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
All right, then. You ask. You're dead now.
He doesn't have much crew.
Was that shot some kind of joke?
Yeah, man. What's up? So I'm really exploiting his blind spot. And you can do this with almost all Terran ships.
Part. Gian.
Okay, so he's not running away. He's just, it says attack black flag, so I know he's not running away. He's probably getting more shields.
All right, then. You ask.
You know, Terrans, they have horrible engines for dogfighting, and just their smaller ships are just crappy engines.
You call yourself a pilot?
Their larger ships have great engines. It's just his boost is so bad. His boost is bad, and his just his combat speed in general is just really bad. Okay, I'm gonna turn flight assist on,
A big mistake.
and that's him boosting right now. I want to make sure he doesn't get in a travel drive, because his travel drive is pretty quick, all things considered. We're just going to exploit the hell out of this.
All right, then. You ask.
And because of how we have our key set up with strafing, we could really stay here pretty easily. It's not hard for us at all. It becomes second nature once you practice this.
You're dead now.
Docking not possible.
Ooh, man, I always press that button in accident. So we don't want to destroy this guy. We want to destroy his morale, but not his ship. Because we can get all these guys to bail and get no rep damage. So we can still be friends with the Terrans. Which is good, because they just made me their hero.
All right, then.
I am now the hero of the Terran people, I guess. I don't know. I finished the mission, so I just got my rank.
You're going to regret that.
Yeah. We're gonna get him to 70. There we go. So he still has 5 people on board. So now people will start bailing.
I'm not talking to you. You call yourself a pilot?
We're really chipping away at this guy's morale.
All right then. You asked.
Always spiraling and strafing at all times. Yeah, I'm gonna let him get some shields back. Just a little bit. And then I'm gonna tear him back down.
I'm not talking to you.
And I'm always calling these guys, always talking to them, making sure that I chip away at their morale. And see how we're kind of flying circles around this guy.
All right, you're making a big mistake.
And now he's down to 2 people. None of this is saving him. It's just going to prolong what's going to happen, and that's me getting that ship. Just rolling underneath, always trying to exploit this blind spot as much as I can. He has no main guns. He's just all turrets, so...
All right then. You asked. I'm not talking to you.
It's just a matter of time, my man. He will bail. Ooh. Maybe he does have main guns, huh?
You're dead now. You're making a big mistake.
Well, you're gonna give up sooner or later. So, man, I kind of feel like he does have main guns. Well, you know what? We're gonna treat it as he does, because I don't know for sure. I'm not that familiar with Terran ships, if I'm being absolutely honest with you guys. I'm playing Terran for the first time in a very long time.
All right then. You asked for it.
Okay. So the worst part about this is I have to go and pick up all these ships. It's a pain in the butt, but it's a big payday. That's not bad for us. So, do you have front guns, man? I felt like I saw some front guns. Maybe I don't even. Wow, what a cool looking ship, man. This is just a sexy looking ship. Okay, there is the thingy right there. You can kind of see it in the back. And we're going to go out there and,
Sir,
well, first, I want to make sure I don't have any dumb orders because I don't want him flying away. Okay.
As Raider.
And this is it, just one at a time. I'm going to go ahead and claim all these ships, but that's really how you could take out multiple ships at once. So, yay. Okay, now we're finally at boarding. We are going to use this as our target. If you're a new player and you're watching this, definitely pick a builder as your target. Not only that, make sure you do a quick save or some kind of save before you start this. This is really important. This is a very low risk thing. So don't think that this is a high risk thing. It really is not. It's low risk because we can do a quick save And if everything goes sideways, we can do a quick load. And we're back to where we were as if nothing has happened. But the reason why I say builder is because they don't have any crazy turrets, right? They typically don't carry sometimes they do have missile turrets. We'll deal with that if they have them. If they don't, then that's even better. But they're slow moving and they sell for a lot. So I don't know what this thing has. I haven't scanned it yet. So I'm going to scan it. We're going to figure that out. And then we'll start the boarding process. Before we get there, though, this is the ship we're going to board. I have my little destroyer coming. He's almost there. I'm going to move him a little bit closer. And a little bit more this way. So this is the second thing that we need. We don't need a destroyer. You can use a bunch of mini ships, but I recommend a large ship because it's less things to micromanage. But if you do have a bunch of medium ships you've stolen, you can do that too. But the one thing that's going to be the same across the board is we're going to need Marines, right? And by the way, this is my ship. I got this for free for just doing the Terran mission. Dude, Terran is the best starting faction for anybody. Like the Cradle of Humanity DLC, because you get so many cool things for free, and this is one of them. I don't know of any other faction that will give you a free destroyer that's this good. This destroyer is one of the best in the game, and you get it for free. So think about that if you're a new player. With that said, we're going to need Marines. So what are we going to do to get Marines? We're going to take this highway right here that goes through Hatikva's Choice all the way around to Silent Witness 1 and all the way down here to Windfall 1 Union Summit. And when we get here, we're going to this Vigor Syndicate shipyard. You just go there and all you do is dock and you buy Marines, right? It's that simple. So just an overview picture. There's Argon Prime. That's our target for Marines, this shipyard right here. And the highway is just conveniently right there. Boom. So once you've filled up with Marines, we're going to come over here because remember this area right here, it's not being policed. So it's a perfect area to do all your boarding stuff. You can practice pirating. You can make money. It's fantastic. I don't know of too many areas as good as this one. And also, you get a lot of factions coming in from here to this side. You get all sorts of factions. You get a lot of these Paranid people. You get Argon people. Like you saw earlier, we had some Terrans come through here. So it's just, you get so much good traffic. So it's just a great place. So with all that covered, let's scan this thing and let's see what it has, and we'll get started with boarding. Okay. Oh, got my scanner on.
Mammoth, Vanguard.
Nope, don't want to dock. I want to do that.
Hey, get away!
Yeah, right. Okay. So let's look at this. We'll go here. It looks like we got 20 advanced satellites. That's nice. No missiles. That's fantastic. So all we're going to do is just take out his engines. And we should be home free on this. And I'm in my Morea, the one I showed you earlier.
Engine.
Look how fast those burst rays work on the engines. It just melts them, right?
Boarded.
It's okay. We can just dodge this incoming fire. No big deal. We're just gonna hang out. We don't want to destroy it we don't want to destroy a lot. Just what we have to destroy. And I don't do flyby boardings at all anymore these days. So that's a method you can look up on your own if you want to check that out. The reason why I don't do flyby boardings, I used to do that all the time, and it got so bad. Like I had a save where all I did was flyby boardings, and I had all this money and all these ships, and I felt like I didn't earn any of it. I actually quit that save. Like flyby boardings just ruined that one save for me. So now I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I just won't do any flyby boardings. I'll deal with the rep. That's fine. There has to be some kind of consequences for this, right? And with flyby boarding is, let me do the boarding process, right? So if I go here and just click on board, what I'm going to do is send in whatever. I only have 3 veterans. I haven't done that much boarding yet. Then all my recruits, instead of targeting engines, I might go to disable target. Right, now I should go to maintain distance. That's what I'll do. And for these 2 drop down menus, I always select very strong every time. And that's it. That's the process right there. There's a little bit more. I'm going to show you that. But this window right here, if you do that every time, you're good. So we're going to start the process. As you can see, I have 120 Marines. He has 102 defending crew, but he doesn't have that many Marines. And I'll show you. Boom. So we're good. We're going to get started on that. I'm going to close the menu. And I could show you his Marines. That's all he has. We have like 140 Marines. He has this many. On top of that, all these guys are service crew. They're not Marines. So they're not going to be very helpful. And I want to make sure is his weapons on? Let me go to, because I do want to bring his shields down.
Stay sharp. They're all over us. Requesting immediate backup.
Man, maybe I will take out a couple of his.
Acknowledged.
Turret.
Maybe I'll take out a couple of his Marines or a couple of his guns. Okay.
This is group leader. Keep an eye on sensors.
So I lost a few of my ships there. No big deal. Or a few of my pods.
Contact. Making preparations to breach.
It looked like I was about to lose a lot more.
Docking west.
I'm just gonna dock.
Contact. Making preparations to breach.
All right.
Got it.
We are gonna turn around here. Oh, this thing turns so slow. I want to get his hull down to like. Well, first we're gonna get his shields down.
Lama.
Okay. We're gonna get his shields down all the way, and his hull could be below 80. Almost there. We gotta be delicate because this guy. You know what? Let me do. No. Attack capital ships only. There we go. Well. It's okay if we lose a little rep. We're gonna get them down. Maybe down a little bit further. Maybe a little bit further than that. Okay, that's good. And what that's going to do is that will actually speed up the boarding process a lot. When you do a flyby boarding, it takes forever. Forever. It could take up to an hour. And doing it this way takes a long time too. But it speeds it up a little bit. Right? So that way we're not waiting here for an hour. And how long we wait, it's always kind of random. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 40 minutes. But it does take a little bit. Typically, when you do it like this, when you knock down the hole, it doesn't take 40 minutes. But sometimes it might. And I gave him the order to maintain distance. All his weapons are off. So now we're just going to chill. This thing might try to attack us, whatever. It's no threat to us. See how many of my Marines died. Okay, I lost 20 Marines. If you want to mitigate that, you should destroy the turrets. I probably should have destroyed the turrets. But, because for all I know, I could have lost all 3 of my veterans. And those could have been, like, in another world, those could have been elites, and I could have lost all of them. So it's probably best to destroy the turrets. But, whatever, man. We're still going to get this ship. Live and learn, right? But that's boarding. That's the whole thing. We don't need to watch a 30-minute tutorial. You know everything about boarding right there. Now, if you're going to be boarding, if you're going to be using flyby boardings, what you do is you just warp to this thing and travel drive, pause right underneath it, and then go through that boarding process exactly the same way I did it. I'm not a big fan of flyby boardings anymore. I just don't do them. And honestly, I think as time goes on, they might be removed, which would kind of suck because I make one exception to that, and that is the Earl King. The Earl King I do a flyby boarding for every time. And that's only because that's a battle I'll never fight again. I did that once, and I'll never do that again. It's a horrible, horrible nightmare. So me personally, I hope they keep flyby boarding in just for the Earl King. For that reason alone. I mean, I hope they keep it in for everything, really. Because somebody else might like doing flyby boardings. I just prefer not to do it. You know, everyone has their own preference. I'm right next to it, and the boarding is still going on. So the boarding has only been going on for 4 minutes. That's how fast this is.
Turret.
I'm getting a lot of help here from this guy. This defensive station. And see how fast we can just strip these turrets? Look at that. And when you destroy one turret, it actually will automatically target another turret for you.
We're pushing through. Lots of resistance.
Oh, that's great. That's good news. And this thing is toast. Wow, man.
Explosion imminent.
What a great defensive station.
It's gonna blow.
We're just going to fly over there real quick. I thought it would take a little bit longer.
Several sections. Moving on.
I thought I had time to kill that K and then come back, but it actually happened like about 10 minutes, which is good.
Safe to engage. Blow.
It took about 10 minutes for it to start, and then, because, you know, I'm timing it, and then it's about 4 minutes into the actual fight. Yep, that's right.
Yes.
All right, we are done. And there is our ship right here. We're going to click on this guy. And I'm going to assign a pilot. And then I'm going to take this mammoth and give back all the Marines. Which I lost quite a few, but Marines are pretty cheap. And I got 39 veterans out of that. Remember I had 3 veterans? Now I got 39 veterans. So that's great. And then this guy, since he did lose some Marines, I'm going to fill his Marines right back up. And the way I do this is go to that shipyard I pointed out. We're going to go to upgrade and repair. Go here and just hire all Marines, right? Well, except for one. Well, how many? We'll just leave one spot open for our pilot there. And this guy, let me see this guy right here. Where was? Oh yeah, this mammoth. So let's see how much this sells for. Thankfully, for us, it's right by the shipyard. So we're gonna find out real quick. So I'm gonna repair it just so I get more. And then I'm gonna go to minimum preset, 5 million right there. Now I suspect we'll get another 10 million from the actual ship itself. So we'll find out. Either way, that was a pretty good haul. I stole that behemoth in the middle of an invasion, Xenon invasion. It was pretty crazy, and I have it all recorded on the previous video. You should check it out. So you can do some crazy things with boarding. It's really fun. We'll sell ship, 10 million. So now we're at close to 30 million. So we're doing pretty good. And I haven't even sold those these guys yet, those Xi'ans and the Kukri. So we still have to sell those. Okay. I just want to show you what I got going on here. We're at Heretic's End. This is something for the new players and people who just never done piracy that much before. You can make a save with a dummy station that you can hire movers to go out to and practice on them, right? You can give them money and transports will come out here. You can practice on them as well. And you don't even have to like worry about the rep. This just could be an isolated save file you have disconnected from everything else, where you just practice boarding a couple times before you do it on a live target or on a destroyer. So a lot of people tell you that this is cheesy. Dude, ignore that noise. You're new to the game, you want to practice this is a great way to do it. Just out here in Heretic's End, where there's no military, no police force, hardly any Xenon. But they do come in here from time to time, but it's very, very rare. It's so rare. You'll probably never see one in a save file if you make one just like this. And again, it's just a dummy station, right? Let's look at it. It's just a dock with a container storage. It will probably never be built. You're just going to use it to practice boarding. And you could use it, you could use this in your actual game just to build Marines or to make money. You know, who cares if someone thinks this is cheesy? If this is how you want to make some credits to build your empire on, then do it. You know, don't worry about what anyone else thinks at all. So we just went through this process. We're going to go through it again. And this way, if you feel confident you know how to do this, you can just skip this part. But if you want to see it again, we're going to do the exact same thing we did earlier. We're going in a scanning mode. I'm going to turn flight assist off. I'm going to turn down that volume just a little bit. And then I'm just going to scan this guy, right?
That's not allowed.
Yep, I know all about it, my man. And then we're going to click on this, go to information. We're going to take a look at the crew. He does not have that many Marines. He has 32 Marines and a shitload of crew. What's going on here? Advanced satellites, 40 advanced satellites. I like it. I don't care for this too much. Holy crap. A medium tracking turret, that's not good. So we're going to find those. And you see those red things right here? Right there?
Turret.
Oh, that's one tracking turret. That's another tracking turret. Let's see what this one is. What are these? Bolt turrets.
Kyushu. Turret.
Bolt turrets.
Kyushu. Turret.
Tracking turret. So he has 3 total. So like I said earlier, the tracking turrets, they have to go first. They are a pain. They will hit you. They hit hard. If that happens, so be it. As long as we don't die, we're good. But here we go. Tracking turrets.
Not tolerate your actions.
Bye-bye.
Kyushu. Turret.
We were hit.
So do you see them right there?
Incoming missile.
Coming for me? Okay. Let them come for me.
Kyushu.
They're medium tracking turrets. Coming right for me. So this guy is just attacking right now. I'm going to get the boarding started. So we're going to go here. Board. Same thing. I want to maintain distance. I want to go to very strong. Very strong. And then I'm going to do all my... Oh, I have the wrong thing. I have the... We're going to select this one. Okay. There we go. We're going to select the actual ship. My apologies. Okay. What the heck? Why are you not doing... What am I doing? Maybe I have to do it in map view, huh? There we go. I guess I have to do it in map view. So, again, maintain distance. Very strong. Very strong. We're going to send our veterans first, and then our recruits. And I might try to destroy those turrets up top.
Launched. Moving to target.
It's kind of tricky with those.
Turret.
Okay. Ooh, I tried. That didn't work. Okay.
Stay in formation.
All right, the missiles are gone. I want to try that again, man. I want to get through the hole. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the thing about Terran ships is they have a lot of shields.
Contact.
This guy has extra large shields.
Docking ready.
Steady. Contact. Making
All right.
preparations to breach.
Well, that's just outstanding.
Contact. Making preparations to reach.
And where are you at, man? You're right there. Okay. And we're going to chip away at this guy.
Kyushu.
Target him. He's down to... Oof. Boy, this guy does have a lot of shields. Okay. I don't want my guns to overheat. Let my guns cool off a little bit. Almost down. And there we go.
We're hit.
That's okay. We can get hit. You can take it. Again, I want to get them below 80%. I like to go a little bit below what people recommend. If you look this up online, I like to go like 75, 70%. People will tell you you just have to get to 80%. Maybe. I mean, even probably, but I just want to be safe. A little bit more, just a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna disarm everything. We're just gonna chill out, man. That's it. That's boarding. It's far more exciting when you're fighting destroyers, but this is an introductory to boarding. I don't want to go too crazy. In the last playthrough, in the episode before this, I boarded a behemoth in the middle of a Xenon invasion. You could check that out if you want to see what that looks like. It's pretty stressful because as I'm boarding this behemoth, I'm dealing with a whole Xenon swarm. But it's really fun. And once you get good at boarding, you're gonna want to do fun stuff like that. You know, you'll probably try to board ships in their own sectors just to see if you can do it. And this method I'm showing you is so fast, like 10, 15 minutes, and you're done with boarding. You could probably do it. You could, but you might lose some rep. If you're a person that cares a lot about rep, like rep is important, you want to be happy friends with everyone, then maybe don't do that. Because you will lose some rep. You're going to have to fight off ships, destroy turrets, and all that stuff. But I'll tell you this. In the next section, I'm going to show you how you can mitigate a lot of rep damage. So watch that, and maybe after that you'll say, hey, yeah, I'll hijack some destroyers for sure. Because I have a method of dealing with rep now. So stick around for that. So that's crazy. This time it only took about 5 minutes to get the boarding process started for stage 3 assault. So this time it was actually faster than the previous time. Because previously it took 10 minutes to start, and then it took about 5 minutes to finish. So that's pretty quick, man. I mean, just again, this is just so much faster than a flyby boarding by a long shot. And it's only been like 2 minutes. But you know, we have a lot more veterans this time around too. So maybe that's why. Yeah, that must be why. We just have far more veterans this time. Because it's like 2 minutes and we've already... That's crazy.
Nice one.
Just want to make sure I got this time right. I'm looking at my watch. Oh my god.
Reinforcements arriving.
All right. Well, holy crap. Boom. That's it. So this time it took 5 minutes to get to stage 3 assault, and then it took 2 minutes for stage 3 assault to finish. So this time around it was significantly faster. So I mean, this is why I just like doing boarding this way. Now I do want to point out we are boarding oh man, where did that... Oh dude, did he fly away somewhere? Oh yeah, he's over here. He actually made it pretty far. So I want to point out that these are builders, so they're really super easy, which is what we want, right? Because we're new here, we're just checking this out. We don't want to board capital ships or some crazy destroyer as a new player. But I don't want to give this impression that boarding is something that's super easy against all targets. If you do it against a destroyer or capital ship, you can get a lot of fight out of that. So just be prepared. I hope you guys do this. I hope you guys check it out, because it's a lot of fun and it's a great way to make money. It's a nice change. Like if all you did earlier, like even if you're not a new player and all you did was trading and building stuff earlier, and this time around you want to try piracy, dude, it's so much fun. So much fun. But anyways, we're going to go repair this guy. Right? Ooh, it's going to cost me 1.5 million to repair it. That's a lot of money for repair, but we're going to do it. And then, let me edit this real quick. Then we're going to go to minimum preset. 20 million right there. Isn't that crazy? 20 million. And all we did was strip it. So, it's big money. And I'll give you the total price when that's done. Okay, here we are. Ship is repaired. You are going to work right back here as a Marine. Thank you for your service.
Confirmed.
All right, lady. And now we're going to find this thing. No one's on it, so we're going to sell it and see how much we got. 20 million to strip it, plus another 18 million. Remember, I started all this with about, I think, 12 million, somewhere around there. And by the end, I got to 70 million. So, and I haven't even sold these kukris yet, you know. And I might actually keep some of these for delivery ships. I don't know. And that's what we're going to talk about next, is delivery ships and how to deal with rep. Okay. We are now at the part where we can talk about rep. So this is how I deal with rep. These ships are all stolen except for the Odachi. And I think maybe this one too. I'm not sure. Maybe I did steal that one. But this Morea, totally stole it, and it has this, it's labeled as a delivery ship, just so I can keep track of it. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it on repeat orders, confirm that, go over here. I'm going to buy one energy cell. I'll pay this dude max price. I don't care what his price goes to, and I'm just buying one. Boom. Then I'm going to go here to my Vig buddies, and I'm going to sell this guy that energy cell. And I will pay, he could pay 10 credits. I don't even care about the credits. Well, hold on. I do want to make sure the trade goes through, though. Bro, what are you doing? Buy, sell to. There we go. Energy cell. Min price. And all that ship is going to do over and over again is sell one energy cell, right? And that's it. And I have these kind of scattered around. This is kind of a new save, a new playthrough. I haven't really done much, so I haven't built a lot of these. But this is how I deal with rep. So, for example, if I'm stealing from Argon, I have these trading ships that will trade one thing at a time. So that way, in the background, I'm always building rep. But most importantly for Argon, I have this guy in the Reach. Just a wonderful place to build an E-cell factory. And it's because, let me show you guys this. Look at that. Look at that sunlight, 367%. It's just amazing. So I have this thing here, and we'll look at how many credits I'm making. What is that? Man, that's not bad at all. 2.1 million in about an hour. That's pretty good. I'll take it. And this will fluctuate up to 2.5 million, which is the highest I've seen it. That's really good money for a new player, for sure. But what's more important than that is look at all these different factions buying from me. They're always building rep with me. So a combination of having an E-cell factory in a strategic location, or even multiple of these in strategic locations, plus these delivery ships, which I'm still working on. I still need to get more and move them around. I got my Odachi working. This is a really cool ship. I'm going to probably replace this with one of the Kukris because this ship is too cool to be a delivery ship. But, you know, I'm going to start building them in all the different areas, even Talati. And that way I could steal from one faction, not worry so much about rep because it's going to slowly build up behind the scenes. And really, I just don't want the rep to get to -9. Or I just don't want the rep to go below 0. That's my goal. The moment it goes below 0, that's when it becomes kind of problematic. And some of these factions, like Argon, I just want to get to +20 because I want some pieces of equipment that I can only get at +20, right? So that's a factor you got to think about too. But look, I stole some stuff from Argon, and I gained rep. I was at 17 rep, and I still gained rep, and I was destroying modules on their ships. Now, I try to be minimal with the amount of modules I destroyed, so it doesn't affect it too much. And these guys, I think I just got these guys at -9. So I need to definitely put a delivery ship there to help these guys out. And oh yeah, Terran, I blew up the engine and 4 turrets and didn't even affect my rep at all. Not even a little bit. So don't stress out too much about rep, but at the same time, keep an eye on it, if that makes sense. And really, that's the whole thing. You know what you could do, and this is, I don't like doing it this way because I have to actively participate, is I can manually get in a ship, go dock, and sell like 100 E-cells, but one at a time, and it will just queue there, and I can leave. For sure, but that requires me to go do that, and I don't want to have to go out there and do that. I'd much rather have these delivery ships doing my bidding, even though they'll do it slower. They'll do it without me having to intervene or any of that, because I really hate micromanaging stuff. That's why I usually just play with like a couple destroyers and a handful of fighters. And with that setup, you can do a lot. And you don't have to really micromanage that much. But this time around, I'm going to try to be a, I guess more, have like huge fleets, bases scattered about. I never really played like that ever. So this is going to be my first attempt at doing that. But either way, if you made it this far into the guide, you made it to the end. This is the whole thing. It's really not that deep. I kept it as simple as possible. I try to make it for the very basic beginner. I hope I help some people out. I hope someone out there is going to try boarding for the first time. You should. It's awesome. And maybe a veteran player that's never tried Piracy wants to give it a shot. I highly recommend it. So with that said, I am out. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and maybe I'll make another one of these. So, and if you watched it this far, thank you very much. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys around, hopefully. All right, bye-bye.